Hey everyone, I'm Tom from FireYourBoss.xyz.
I don't know, Tom. You say that like you kind of like the sound of your own domain name.
I do like it, Captain Obvious. I am going to share with you the fundamental difference between people who have to make decisions around whether they have the money for it or not, and people who used to have that problem, who have graduated to a higher quality of problems. Right off the bat, this really isn't about money, and you spiritual gangsters already know that. What I mean by that is if you attach a negative energy to money, then these problems of 1 billion people in the world starving to death, mostly kids, human trafficking, human sex slave rings involving mostly kids, factory farming and the unconscionable things they do to billions of farm animals every year, human trafficking, chronic disease, chronic poverty, an out-of-control pharmaceutical industry that profits off of people getting sick and managing their sickness, curing them of absolutely nothing, the environment, all these things happening because it's mostly the criminals of the world that have a positive attachment to money, while the generous people who want to help the planet and other people say stupid things like, I don't need money to be happy. However, true, that's not the point. This is not about money. Money is a resource that can be used to either heal or pollute the world. Now that everyone's a spiritual gangster and have gotten over their hang-ups and negative energy about money, let's move on. The key, foundational, pillar reason why so many people stay stuck year after year with the same financial problems and a lack of being able to create more freedom and more contribution and impact throughout the world is this. Most people look at an opportunity to do this or that, whatever it is, that, wow, this is really important to me, but how much is it gonna cost me? What's it gonna cost in terms of time? What's it gonna cost me? How much time and effort do I have to put into it? What if it doesn't work? What if I offend somebody and I get my feelings hurt because I want to grow outside of this tiny little comfortable box that they like me to live inside of?
Out of the box.
The people who take the issue off of themselves and become less self-absorbed, instead of all of those things, here's what they're saying. Who fucking cares how much it costs? How much can I make? So what if I offend the wrong people? My ego isn't as important as making an impact and contributing towards the planet. Minutes or hours of effort and time. How much time freedom is this going to give me? Who can I impact? What messages of good and healing can I perpetuate out there into the world? Oh, with this kind of a challenge, what kind of new skills could I learn, and the emotional and spiritual maturity could be gained from such an experience that puts me in a position to be more valuable to helping heal the planet that is dying right now? Who could I become and how can I be remembered? So these are really big contrasts between different belief systems. One belief system leads to one lifestyle, another belief system leads to a completely different lifestyle. It's a totally other world. And it is the average main school train of thought that everybody is so conditioned for automatically. You don't even realize you're doing it. When you see an opportunity to get something you want, your first thought is, oh my God, how much is it going to cost me? Oh my God, how much effort, how much time? Oh my God, I got all these things going on, and the excuses just start coming and you don't even know you're doing it most of the time because you're just so conditioned. That's our culture. Consider this. I'm planting this new seed in your head. You're watching a flippin' video, getting a new seed. Some of you are going to totally reject it, and that's fine. You got to live with your decisions and you're going to carve your own path. And some of you, you're going to be a bit more open. You're going to let this stuff in and you're going to start to let it change you. And you're going to change it by your decision more than anything. Gosh, if you really take these messages to heart, all of my videos, you're just going to develop into more of a free-thinking person. Not because some long-haired freak in a video said something was a good idea because I believed it to be a good idea. But you're going to start to develop your own opinions that weren't so conditioned and coerced from the culture that you live in. This nonsense of, oh cool, an opportunity to get exactly what I want and even more. Oh, but wait, how much is it going to cost me? That's Loserville. Not calling you a loser, but the way that most of us think is complete Loserville. I've been there, done that, and it's an ongoing battle that even I'm still very much engaged in. But the difference between very few people and most people is that very few people become consciously aware of it. So when we start to slip in those Loserville attitudes, we can recognize it right away and reverse direction immediately. So when I'm looking at something that's like, okay, this is cool, this is what I want, I'm thinking, how much could I gain from it? How much impact could I have? Who could I touch? the freedom of time that I could have from this, the advancing of a mission of mine, a message that I believe in of a healing and good, something I want to perpetuate out into the world, whether it be something health related or wealth related, freedom or poverty related or human trafficking related, whatever the case may be. I'm always thinking about that. And if I notice for a split second, I'll identify it like right away as my mind starts slipping into the how much is it going to cost me sort of thing, how much effort, how much time. I don't know if I immediately recognize it and reverse right away. So become aware of that. Let this video change you. Please, dear God, let it change you. Now, I know right off the bat, we'll use money, for example, because it's very easy to count and it is a resource that can be used to pollute or heal the planet. So it's a pretty important topic matter, money, and breaking negative energy. But for example, let's say you literally have a bank account of $0 or a penny. I just go with $0. So that's the fact. That is the fact of your scenario. You have literally $0 because your bank statement shows $0. What most of you will do in that situation is you will look at that number and you won't look past it. You won't look at that number what it could be if you made a few changes in your lifestyle, a few changes in your daily rituals. You won't look past it. You just won't. Maybe seeing this video, you'll start to open up your mind a little bit and say, what do I have to do? What has to change inside of me to do different so I've got different, or so that my bank account reads bigger than zero or bigger than whatever it is right now? Let me go deeper into what I mean by that, because this is really important. And that's where most of you are completely stuck and you have no idea how to get out. Open your mind to the concept of selling first, buying later. Everyone knows how to buy and sell. You buy stuff, you sell it. That implies that you actually need money to make money. And that is one of the most insidious, unforgiving, inexcusable lies that has perpetuated the average school of Maine thinking, Loserville, is that you need money to make money. That's a false fact. And if you hold on to that, if you believe that and it affects what you do and you're not willing to change it, then you screw yourself over before anybody or anything else ever could. I'm going to say that one more time before I move on, because it is so important you get this so that you change. If you buy into the idea that you need money to make money and you are unwilling to change because you're going to say, but Tom, and then fill in the dot with whatever, then you screw yourself over before anyone else or anything ever possibly could. Period. End of story. So don't stay stuck there. Let me help you open your mind a little. Just be receptive of this. It's going to open a whole new world and put an extra spring in your step. It really is. So here's the deal. Instead of buying and selling, which is average Maine school train of thought, we're so conditioned for it, we do it without even realizing it. You're going to sell and buy. When I was literally zero income, no money coming in whatsoever, not even unemployment, I have no kids, I have nothing where I could claim anything, it's just nothing coming in. I was presented an opportunity to change all of that in the home business arena. I said no at first. I was still on that Loserville average school of thought, mainstream thinking. I wasn't a loser, just my thinking was. I said no for 3 months until I finally had a little bit of maturity and I said yes. But I didn't have any income. How did I pay for it? Well, I started to learn about some things that changed my life forever, and it grew from there. So here's what I did. In my particular situation, yours is going to be different, so don't look at mine and say you can't do it. You're a totally different person with different resources, different outlets, and so forth. But I had a credit card. So basically, I put it on a credit card. We'll call it other people's money. I got my ass to work immediately on that opportunity. I was like, how much could I make? I started seeing the future. My vision grew. It wasn't how much is it going to cost. Sure, I needed to know, so I knew what to charge to my credit card. But beyond that, I was in. It's like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is my dream come true. So I got in. $240 was my initial thing, and I had no means of paying it off when I got in. But once I got in, I had the means to pay it off. I got my ass to work, and to this day, I never missed a credit card payment. A couple of years after that, created my first 6 figures easily. And now I'm buying all these houses that I'm supplying people with that don't have a lot of money without taking food from their table to raise their families in. Quality, clean, unbelievable houses. I'm buying them left and right. And I'm feeding starving kids. I'm donating to the Gerson Institute because they actually heal people from cancer using nature and not medical treatment from all stages of cancer, including the ones that were told to go home and die by their medical doctors because there was nothing more they could do for them. I donate to help people like that and so that they can live and be stronger. and kids who are starving, and kids that are in the sex slave, human trafficking ring, and all these other things. I can do these things now, and I've got my freedom of time. I don't have a job. I'll never ever have a job again. In my opinion, jobs are nothing but, well, I'm not going to say nothing but jobs in terms of how you get paid and live your life. It's a pyramid scheme. It really is a racket, and it's not something I personally want to partake in anymore. So you can do your own research on that. God knows I got lots of videos on that topic matter. Just let me know. I'll send you some if you like. So back to this magical selling and then buying concept. There's really nothing magical about it except that you just ain't been conditioned for it. So it's really rushing to you as it was for me at one time. But back in those days, I actually began without knowing a list of 31 ways to raise money without having any, entirely from the selling first, buying second concept. The first thing I did was the credit card idea. Didn't have any money, no income, so I kind of had to. And there's infinite ways you can do it. It doesn't have to be a credit card. I already know for a fact that some of you out there who haven't gone past this mindset of Loserville are going, but I can't get a credit card, my credit shot, so I guess I'm out of luck. Well, if you believe that, I guess you are out of luck. You screw yourself over before anybody else ever possibly could, like I was saying earlier. What you do now is you say, okay, well, I can't get a credit card because my credit is horrible. So what else can I do? And you start brainstorming ideas and doing Google searches. You can get my 31 ways. It's free. I don't charge anybody anything for it. You can use it and you can start putting stuff into practice. You only need like a couple, 2 or 3 things from that list of 31 that you do really well. And you might surprise yourself. You could raise hundreds of extra dollars the first week or maybe more. Who knows? It's a pretty cool deal. So get into that and exit this main school Loserville way of thinking, because you will absolutely screw yourself over with it. I have no doubt about it. So don't do that. Allow this seed to be planted, and don't be overwhelmed. One digestible piece of information at a time on a daily, consistent basis. And you know what? Before you know it, you're going to be someplace where you're like, I'm making traction now. I'm not where I want to be yet, but now I know I'm in that direction, and this feels really good. This feels amazing, right? I mean, how great is that going to feel? I use the money example, but the same thing is true with time or anything else for that matter. If you think that you just need more hours in the day to be able to get to where you want to be, then if you get those hours or minutes or whatever, you're just going to dig a deeper hole for yourself. That's the way that if you haven't been faithful with the time you've been given now, then if you're given more time without knowing what to do with that time to begin with, you're sunk, man. What happens is, first, you decide you're going to be faithful with whatever time you do have, even if it's just a few minutes a day. You be faithful with that, you're going to get more time. And now, when you have more time, you're going to know what to do with that more time, so you're going to be able to scale up your results and get more of what you want. If you were just somehow, by fairy dust, offered all this money and time and resources without becoming anything to get it, but it just sort of fell from the sky, then you're going to be in a worse situation than you were to begin with. Because what you were doing with time and money before put you in a hole. Now you got more of it for doing nothing, becoming nothing. Well, you're going to go further in the hole. And you don't believe me? There's countless stories about it. They're everywhere. Don't be one of them. Dedicate yourself to becoming someone who is faithful with resources, time, and money, and you'll get more of it. That's the law of promotion. And when you have more of it, well, now you know what to do. You can scale up and get more of what you want. That's a pretty beautiful thing. So now that you know that basic law of promotion, get married to it. It's actually a pretty faithful spouse. Thanks for watching my video. I deeply appreciate that. Go to my website, fireyourboss.xyz. Like I mentioned earlier, I love the sound of it. .com.xyz, fireyourboss.xyz. And if you think this message is any good to perpetuate out there into the world, click share. Share it with people. Like it, comment on it, add your 2 cents. And get it out there if I've talked about anything that you believe in. And my next video will be coming very soon. I love making these videos, and I thank you all so very much for participating in whichever facet you want. I will see you real soon. I'm going to close off this video with some video footage that I took before I started babbling on about. So enjoy it. I took some really beautiful video. Bye for now.